This is the light source that's here present at the venue. So as I've already shown, that's amplified audible activity. So while Carlo Lopez walks into the office, that's a means of noise. Understand, when the entity is threatening my life directly, the entity uses helicopter as the method of noise. All right, while the light source is present, or while the light source and or engineered light is present. All right, those are the three elements of monitoring that are always present. Carlo is engaged in federal stalking while working for a third-party speaker company. So understand how speaker companies is engaged in criminal monitoring violation of Title 18. It is the malicious guise under which that is ongoing. And the entity is amplifying helicopter activity, which is not a coincidence. This is group stalking that's occurring in the workplace. This is Todd Speaker, who's going to be prosecuted, his real property and his business, not coincidentally used as a criminal facilitation, means of engaging in group stalking. That is minions that are the demon possessed, that are third-party group stalkers that are present in relevant position at the specific in the specific environment, which is the workplace. That's the workplace. Okay, the entity is flying in a circle in helicopter right here, in perfect alignment right here, and this is Carlo right here. Okay, this is P.O.C. Understand, Carlo is a demon that is working for a company that I'm working at, where I work. All right, Carlo is, that's the condition, because he's engaging in the behavioral pattern. He has documented this is criminal presence. You don't have a right to be present under the guise of any company name. That goes for FedEx, and that goes for the target individual's employer. And he is going to federal prison. This is capturing, again, impunity. All right, and this is criminal presence. Understand the malice. This is criminal presence while you are working for the third party. Okay, speaker companies is a third party. This is the state that's monitoring you in the workplace. This is workplace terrorism, harassment, and sexual violence. The entity is molesting with the engineered light. The entity is maintaining the light source that's not even the sun while it's remaining over the Fontana Lewis Library. All right, and they're touching me with the method of light. That's a sex offense. That's going to be prosecuted exactly as that's exactly what it is. They're engaging in an ongoing molestation. They're also molesting while they maintain engineered light. Not only what you see on the ground, but the engineered light that you've seen on the wall just appearing out of nowhere. That's a sex offense that Todd Speaker is going to be liable for. All right, and he's also going to be criminally prosecuted because speaker companies and Alvarado Gardens at 1800 North Alvarado, the whole property is a facilitating venue. This is criminal facilitation of the government that is also providing evidence against Todd Speaker while they are sounding helicopter activity, which is the ongoing criminal elements of monitoring. Not coincidentally happening while I am documenting. That is a pattern of conduct. At no time is the sun going to be here while I'm documenting. Today I'm reminding you about where I have been, which is Fontana Lewis Library. And again, everything is ongoing. This is just an ongoing exposition of how you're going to prosecute the state, because while the entity is maintaining the light source at Fontana, that is the absence of any sun over the Upland Public Library, contrary to what the body of evidence has already suggested, which is what you saw yesterday. This is going toward the prosecution of the Upland Police Department. They're going to be disbanded. Those that are arriving pursuant to criminal summoning and engaging in kidnapping while they're engaged in criminal monitoring with the people, they're going to federal prison. Okay? Understand how the Fontana Police Department, where the light source is right now, it's remaining over me in Fontana, and the light source is here while you're looking at a group stalker in the name of a company, all right? During the workday, in the workplace, in other words, engaged in group stalking on behalf of the demon-possessed law enforcement agency, LAPD. Rich documentation. There is no mistake about the pattern of conduct. And they are sounding helicopter activity as I walk out and gather video, and that's a threat, while also, that it's already a threat that they're doing. Understand, while they increase that threat, while you perceive it even louder and louder. Everything that the entity is doing, it's going to be legally analyzed. It's going for prosecution, and it's going against Todd Speaker. Okay, it is currently 9:40 a.m. and so you can see the light source, which you already know is here. So while the entity had clouds covering up the light source, you already know that it's here, rising and setting. All right, so the moment I take a picture, this is when the entity is showing, okay, and I put that in air quotes because the light source is remaining over the Fontana Lewis Library, and I'll remind you about documentation showing that the entity is keeping the light source, as I documented, at 7:50 in the morning over my head while I'm standing at the Ontario Town Square, where I'm facing the Ovid Family Community Library, the same Ovid Family Community Library where the sun is setting, by the way. I'm standing facing the 280 North Lemon Apartments while I'm standing on the property of the Ontario Town Square, the same property where the entity is setting the sun there. And And then you're going to juxtapose that with what the entity is doing here, stalking by helicopter and rising and setting the sun here. That's the pattern of conduct. This is the pattern of conduct. It's relevant because it's occurring in the workplace. That's the prosecution of the people of the state using company names to act vicariously on behalf of this government. That's obviously stalking. And that's also, again, that's the admission by the entity. Stalking so heavily, it's directly used against the people of the state. All right, these demons are so heavily engaged in the pattern of conduct. They are so obsessed and so far gone, I mean psychotic with regard to this demonic obsession and that delusion, because you're facing a body of evidence and you are still acting pursuant to that demonic obsession. That's going toward the mental examinations. Again, the inability to stop what they know is wrong. Let me be clear. These demon-possessed agencies, these officers, that's why the system is malicious. That's why it's a secret society, because they know that it's unlawful. Those are demon-possessed, and that's obsession also. You see the light activity, that's illustrating for you the ongoing reality of an obsession. You see demons that are looking as though they're conversing with each other, concerned about something else, keeping their back to you while they're group stalking under the light source and while the entity is stalking in in helicopters and planes at all hours of the day. Those are demons that are psychopaths. That's what Kumli was illustrating to you yesterday. And that conduct is what will have them sitting in mental facilities, because it is in no way any suggestion of innocence. That's the malicious system. Those are demons that are looking to appear disinterested and separated and having nothing to do, while everything about the environment and everything about their ongoing presence. They look left and right, but you see them remaining right in the path. That's the demon possessed. Okay? This is ongoing helicopter activity. I want you to see this. Just going back and forth by helicopter, back and forth. The people of the state are here on the property grounds, crossing path obsessively on Alvarado. Those are demons that are crossing path. Those are demons that are coming onto the property of Alvarado Gardens, and that's a demon that works for third-party speaker companies. And this is the direct evidence against the people of the state and speaker companies specifically. I'm going to prosecute that company, and I'm also going to prosecute the people of the state who are engaged in group stalking in the workplace. He's going to federal prison because he's maintaining vicarious presence on behalf of this entity that is openly demonstrating demon possession, by the way, while they're flying back and forth, and yet it's amplified in volume, which is what they were doing while I was in my bedroom this morning at nightfall, and they were flying over my apartment, amplifying the sound of it, engaged in ongoing obsessive stalking at all hours, day and night. This is occurring during the workplace. It is P.O.C. And there is no sun that's anywhere over Alvarado, over, like you see the light source over, but that's not the natural environment when I'm referencing the sun. I'm referencing the light force, which is the light source, which is reference to the specific environment where criminal activity is underway. What I was stating is there's no sun over the intersection of Arrow and Sierra Avenue in Fontana. That was a light source over Officer Mullins at 9 a.m. All right, that's the Fontana Police Department group stalking while that light source remains here. Already referenced documentation. I'm going to remind you about that because the light source remains over the Fontana Lewis Library until after 6 o'clock in the evening, while the Fontana Police are doing exactly what LAPD is doing, which is group stalking in helicopter. And these are psychotic, demon-possessed group stalkers right now, okay? They're going to federal prison for this. This is P.O.C. The people of the state are going to federal prison as well. All right, I'm going to upload documentation for you to reference, and you're not going to forget about the Upland Police Department, because while they were engaged in criminal summoning on March 16, 2022, standing under the light source at Alvarado Gardens, that's Kumli. She already knows she's going to federal prison. And this is the male that was engaged in demonic patrolling, unloading and loading and unloading while LAPD was flying right here over helicopter. He's monitoring as well. This is demonic patrolling. Tiffany Sherez is going to federal prison. He's going to federal prison. Kumli is going to federal prison. And the Upland Police Department that was engaging in criminal summoning, that was engaging in criminal summoning at the Upland Public Library at 10:48 in the morning, while you're remembering what the entity is doing at all hours. That was impossible light that moved on the ground while that demon opened his door. And this is shade. 8 RUL 397 is going to federal prison. All right, pay attention. Impossible light across the building, that's a demon. He's going to federal prison, and that's impunity. He's going for a longer amount of time. And the entity increasing the volume of helicopter activity. He's going for a longer amount of time. These demons showing impunity while they're pacing understand what they're doing. Kumli, Tiffany Sherez, crossing path. These are demons that are doing this together under the light source, which is not over the Upland Public Library or the Fontana Lewis Library. They're going to federal prison. Okay, this is P.O.C. It is currently, again, 9:46 a.m. This is going to be used against the Upland Police. I meant it when I told them that they're going to federal prison. It's not just Upland Police, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. You're going to disband them as well. Engaging in routine kidnapping with these corrupt law enforcement agencies who are acting pursuant to ongoing criminal summoning by the demon-possessed, group stalking people of the state who engage in that act with them. That's why the people of the state go to federal prison. That's why the entities themselves that are monitoring They're summoning these demon-possessed agencies. They're going to federal prison, and that's what Upland Police and San Bernardino Sheriff's Department were engaging in under the light source, which was remaining here, not over the Upland Public Library like you see at 10:48 in the morning on March 16, 2022. So today I'm focusing on the Fontana Police Department. I'm going to remind you about that and all the placements of its light source. 9 a.m., 10:58 a.m. The entity is maintaining that light source is nowhere near Alvarado Gardens, and that's speaking to the specific environment where you're understanding these are demons who are pacing all around, know my every move, and they're sex offenders because they also know the moments when I'm pulling my panties down. Okay, when I'm washing my body, engaged in private activity. While they're doing it with children, every single last one of them are losing their children. They're losing custody of it. And I'm going to play this video as well because it's an illustration of ongoing impunity. Tiffany Sherez not only losing custody, but everything about her behavior that was continuously documented showed that she has no interest in even maintaining them. While she can't even respect the rights of another person, she's a threat to them and to the public. She will not be getting custody back. That's what this, there's a lot of use for this ongoing documentation. These demons are steady flying in a circle. This is P.O.C. It's currently 9:47 a.m.